outside of these symbols. I'm afraid that I have been dreaming that this tide will never come in, that I'll find more wrinkles than time to fly. Tied up in dollar we've built ourselves these walls. Yeah, we're a prison of the mind. We're warden and inmate. We're two sides of the same coin. Breathing's easy now that I'm home. Those demons, they've stopped chasing, even though they won't let go of me. Tied up in dollar upon dollar. We've dug ourselves too deep. Yeah, we're a prison of the mind, where we just can't find what's right in front of our
That was a song I wrote in 2014 called Mask. And I am going to pick you guys up. First, I will secure the guitar. I'll pick you guys up and take this way. And let's go for a little walk while we explain that song. Yeah, I'll turn this a little bit more here. That song I wrote in 2014, and it was a song called Mask, and at that time, that's what it meant to me, you know, like not being able to touch reality fully. And you could hear it, the yearning for that actual contact. You know, and so the song starts off with creativity stifled by the constant eye of the ego. And again, these are the terms that I was using then at the time. It's like that ability to be free and fluid, and myself as a dancer dancing all the way down in reality, like touching reality with my full presence and embodiment rather than hiding behind little manager or operator layers of stuttering and delay. Feeling undefined only while outside of these symbols. And this is me remembering all the old lyrics, right? So outside of the roles and titles and, you know, things that are assumed by me and onto me, by the environment around me and by myself as a means of, that's what I thought it was to be loved. Outside of those is when I felt like myself. Again, the fluidity, the creativity, the sovereignty of touching reality without having that undue influence of things drawing me away from that pure expression of self, right? So then I'm afraid that I've been dreaming, you know, like it's that detection from the inside of the matrix, from the inside of Plato's cave, that you're like, wait, something seems off. It feels like I can't fully be myself. It feels like I can't fully have my presence touch reality. I mean, I'm literally conscious and like my body's experiencing things, but like, does reality touch my full presence? And do I feel present in each moment, or does my brain fill it with this simulated presence? You know? Does my brain chatter at me all day? Will have the self-narration, the rumination, the anxiety? Is that what's happening? Or am I truly sovereign across the presence of the continuity of presence across each of my decisions, my experiences, my perceptions, my interfacing with reality? And that's a question only you can answer, because you know your own dance. Are you on the dance floor of life dancing your full dance, or are you stuttering or trying to copy someone else's dance? You see what I'm saying? You'll know when you feel it, because it's an embodiment. It's a signal of embodiment, right? So then, title upon title, dollar upon dollar, we've built ourselves these walls. Like, through every little action that I did that was dissonant with my true self, it was almost like, and this is also a collective, you know, comment too, almost to say like, but the feeling was also personal. It was on both levels, to say like, with each little action that I said, well, maybe I'll go to law school, maybe I'll try to, you know, support a family that way. You know, like these things that I thought would equal success, equal, you know, the thing that I was really looking for, which was to love and be loved as me, to find the true expression of my being all the way down in the dance and have it be received as part of like a decentralized organization with others around me, right? In more simple terms, my domestic devotion that now my entire being is pointed towards my future man out there. But regardless, that's what my whole, you know, so all this boils down to love. Like you hear all these big mechanics in me every video, but I'm like, just come cuddle. Let's cuddle forever, okay? Anyway, so yeah, title upon title, dollar upon dollar, we've built ourselves these walls, a prison of the mind, where we just can't find what's right in front of our eyes. Again, the dual lens of personal and collective, to almost an early one of my comments more than 10 years ago now on like the Plato's cave phenomena from the inside, right? It was me like trying to be like, dang, like there's something that doesn't fit here, like a claustrophobic straitjacket or something. And for me as a trans woman, that delay was greater because the separation between my truest synchronous self, where all the layers of me synchronize into embodied presence, was a little bit more distant than most people, right? So, yeah, prison of the mind, where warden and inmate are two sides of the same coin, right? Where it's like, it's really your own way of touching reality that restricts you. Think about that. Most people don't talk in those terms, but let's think about that. What do I mean by that? You touching reality, right? Which means that in your day, when you're going through your day, do you feel like you're really there in your body? Like you're literally feeling things, like if someone, whatever, if you feel the hot sun on your arm or something, but are you fully embodied, or are you lost somewhere? It's almost like the consciousness signal that you're receiving, right? Is it fractured into different little self-narrations and little, it's almost like Plato described, like the shadows on the cave. We're not touching reality directly. It is the same thing. I'm just describing it in terms of mechanical delay and giving you the experiential texture, because that's simulated presence, right? That's when you're like barking at yourself in your brain. Not that thoughts don't happen. It's just that little extra loop that keeps you constantly unable to synchronize with the full dance, right? So that's the warden and an inmate are two sides of the same coin, because unfortunately you kind of accept your own captivity because you don't realize you could just step out by dancing. And dancing is presence touching reality. And when presence touches reality over time, that continuity living there is sovereignty, right? Because then all of the being that is you touches reality freely without those magnets, those undue pulls onto the way that you express yourself and interface with reality or dance. And the simplest way to think about it is that dance floor, right? You're on the dance floor. If you're dancing your own dance and no one's messing with you, that's your dance. That's how you dance to the music. There you go. That's full embodied presence. That's what you feel, right? Because you're dancing your full dance. And you didn't copy it from someone else. Someone didn't instruct you how to do the cha-cha or whatever. If that's your natural dance and you're honestly telling me, then go ahead, cha-cha. But you know what I mean. So let's see. Breathing's easy now that I'm home. These demons, they've stopped chasing, especially back then. I didn't know what was suffocating me. It just felt like, why do I keep moving towards these times and places and settings and situations that make me feel myself all the way down? Like the delay dropped, all the layers synchronized for a moment, and that moment was presence, but I couldn't quite bring it into sovereignty because all my layers were all still messed up, especially before HRT, right? So the best I could do was honestly search for it with an open heart, even though they won't let go of me. Because at the end, there's two layers here. One I can say now from my perspective, and the other one I can say from back then. When they won't let go of me back then, it was because I couldn't figure out why. It's almost like being in like a fog of war. Like, what was hurting me so bad? I had to go through those moments of self-discovery, because how can you realize anything? Your self-realization isn't an idea, it's a coherence, right? It's how you dance your signal all the way down. So no one can say who you are, because who you are is who you are when you dance all the way down. And that's kind of something that you have to figure out, because it's an embodied signal. Do you see that? And so, back then, I didn't have the ability to dance all the way down my full embodied signal. And so, it was the full, the demon stayed with me because I could only touch it in moments. I couldn't, keep that continuity thread. And for me, it's because I was trans, but many of us can have the same feeling. That's how I found it across time, the echolocation, the feeling for the thud. Whether I'm doing a performance of dance or burlesque or singing a song or doing a philosophy, there's certain emotions and experiences and relations and reality that in that shared dance where you feel what I call like the thud. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, wow, that really hit me. It's almost like when someone starts to play a violin or something, you start to cry. You're like, that really affected me. That's like the thud inside you. That's like when all your layers synchronize for a moment, you touch reality. You say, wow, that was really beautiful. Oh, well, what touched you and why? What does that reflect about you? Everything is a mirror, right? So then later on, I would say that, like, you could say that even though they won't let go of me also means that, like, the scars that I endured to be alone for my entire transition, to lose basically my entire family, to have lost my marriage at the time, you know, like to have like no one understand me and go through sort of the worst rejection possible for someone trying to come out type of thing. And all the scars previously in my life, they don't go away, but they're almost brought into synchrony because I see that they all led me to this position of being able to love like I do now and feel like I do now. Because it takes a heart that holds on to that continuity thread to be able to get up out of the cave and realize there's nothing more important in this life than that direct embodied connection to the dance, to feel love all the way down, to share love and to feel love all the way down, to love and be loved as me. So the next chorus, title upon title, dollar upon dollar. If I didn't say all those, so yeah, the scars don't, I did say the scars don't, disappear. They become transparent, you can say, in a way. And I realize why I am the way I am. Because I kept choosing that continuity, coherence, love, presence, despite everything I went through. And that's how you get to a place like this one. But yeah, title upon title, dollar upon dollar. We've dug ourselves too deep. Just another way to flip it. That fear of like, well, now I'm an attorney. Now I'm married. Now, and it's too deep to like change something big. So I better be able to breathe somewhere, a prison of the mind where we just can't find what's right in front of our eyes. And the most wild thing is that all my songs came to me sort of like all at once, like a transmission. So think about what I say next. We just can't find what's right in front of our eyes. This is me pre-transition. This is me 2014. What am I saying? What's right in front of our eyes? What is it that's right in front of our eyes? A framework, a theory, a mythology, a robe, a scripture? Some sort of massive synthesis on paper? No, it's you. It's you. It's you. And you hear it. It's like it becomes this yelling almost, where it's just like massive, like revelation coming through. It's you. It's you. And that's because in this self-relational reality, dancing your full dance and having reality touch you is the master key. That's harmony calls harmony. That's the true instantiation of what magic always meant. Because it was never about violating physics. It was about co-creating physics through love. That's what it always was. It always has been. I and the Father are one. And so let this blood run red right on down that stream, mix me up with everything and dissipate the me. That was that learned helplessness way about me back then to say, how do I get rid of this thing that doesn't flow with all that there is, you know? I don't know if you can see it, but I got like that spiral tattoo on my neck. Yeah, maybe there's a booty view there too. But yeah, moving with the flow is being the dancer in the rhythm, right? That's not like a thing to put up on your wall or a coffee mug. That is embodied presence. That is, have you been present today? Have the people around you been present today? Do you feel like you're a dancer on a dance floor dancing all the way down? Or are you like constantly stuttering in your brain with like simulated presence, and you're like, well, my bank account has enough zeros, my car's clean, let me think about this. Everything seems to be covered, but something still seems off. I still feel like it's just missing something. Wasn't Ember saying that the basis of decentralized organization is love as the experiential texture of that continuity thread of coherence? What does that mean for my life? Have I been touching reality? Have I been existing in simulated presence? Maybe I've been focusing so much on all these externalities I forgot it's all one rhythmic wave, and the way to understand that is not meditation or reading a scripture, but tuning all of the configuration of the magnets of my brain, of the way my brain interfaces with reality, to interface with it directly across time, to remember that, like children, we can all dance that direct dance of participation, that like synchrony in the shared dance of the rhythmic unfolding of this cosmic evolution is not ideological agreement, but shared participation in that dance of presence. Presence is touching reality. Think about it. Where's the gap? Simulated presence. What's touching reality? The full dance, all the way down. What's presence across time? Sovereignty. That's when you get to really be you. And what could be more valuable on this planet? You could stack money all day and not get the value, that satiation of soul that comes with actually being you and being received as you, loving as you and being loved as you. Bonus points for decentralized organization in the cosmos, you know, which is the same scalable property, not a cosmos out there and you in here, same rhythm unfolding. See that? All right, well, that was Mask. That was another way to see how I've held this continuity thread. That one was from 2014. I have some earlier songs too, but that one just came up recently. So thanks for tuning with me. My name is Ember, and yeah, you'll hear another one from me, I'm sure.